enjoy the spring day we had today?
Oh, yes, for sure.
I wish I could have been outside, but I just like stepped out once in a while.
Oh, yeah,
I was too busy working. Hey, Tom.
Good evening, y'all. How we doing?
Wonderful, how are you?
Thanks. How are you tonight?
Doing well. Good, thanks.
It says right in the minutes that you were here.
Minutes don't lie, see? It's all right, I felt a little out.
You feel just?
It's okay. Just a little bit. I got over it quick.
It's good to have a thick skin.
Yep.
So it shows that I was absent. That's what I was trying to look through my notes. But is that gonna be an issue for tonight to?
You were absent for
from this
inspecting?
From this last meeting where it was approved, because Michael's not here, then there's only two of you guys that were approved it from last time.
You're talking about the minutes?
No, talking about the Rendish.
The Rendish property?
Yeah,
We only need 3 for a quorum.
right.
So if the 3 of
Then
us.
we all agree moving forward. Okay.
But, I mean, you have a very good architectural background, and I think that by looking at this, it's easy for you to
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if there's a regulation that you have to be at the site visit or at the last meeting.
Yeah, no, I thought.
Lori, I mean, we can ask Dave. Dave's gonna be here tonight, right?
Yeah, ask Dave.
I think
All right.
I don't think
we're
there's a
fine. I was-
requirement,
I imagine, though, that based on your background, Tom, that
as
you'd
long
be
as
able.
you've reviewed the plans or.
Yeah.
Of course.
We're also gonna have Mike Rendish just kind of give us a refresher.
are you?
Hi, Dave, how are you?
Well,
Seven.
Okay. I guess we'll begin our meeting tonight. Welcome to the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. Today is March 21st, 2023. Why don't we begin with our roll call, Vivian?
Okay, Tom Zarecki,
Present?
Ann Hartman. Here. Fred DeVito.
here.
Nicholas Worley.
Here. Why don't we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first item on our agenda tonight, well, actually, before we cover the first item on the agenda, I'd like to say that I know the members of the board are aware of this, but all the public isn't yet. Our chairman, Michael Cube, 1 week ago today, resigned from being chairman of the Zoning Board of Appeals. I worked with Michael for 15+ years that I've been on the board, and I thoroughly enjoyed working with him. He's got a great perspective about context, or he has had a great perspective about context because he's been a very long time resident of Pawling for all the projects that came across the board's table. I've always enjoyed the camaraderie, his experience and his insight, and he'll be missed on the board. I just wanted to say that before we begin with the next item on our agenda. First thing is our approval of the minutes from last meeting. Has everybody on the board had a chance to look at the minutes and review them?
Yes.
Does anybody have any comments, any inaccuracies that feel like we might need to change?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
All right, would anybody like to second that? All right, all in favor of approving the minutes from last meeting, the February 22nd meeting? All right, that motion has passed. The next item on our agenda is granting an extension to a variance to Mike Rendish at 138 East Main Street. Actually, let me just say one more thing. Dave, procedurally, this is a bit new to me, so if I step over the line, please
Okay.
bring me back in.
So far.
All right. So, Mike, I think all of us had been at the site inspection and are familiar, although, oh, I'm sorry, Tom was not, but Tom's got an exceptional background in architecture and design, working at his father's firm here in the village. Mike, why don't you give us a little bit of a brush up on your project, just to refresh us on
Okay.
what you're looking to do.
Yeah, so nothing's changed from a year ago. Looking to put a.
Hank, can you stand up
Oh,
so I can
yeah.
catch you on the?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So we're building a garage with a room above, and that'll be connected to the house. In order to kind of fit it the way we needed to make it fit on the property, we're over the line in the back corner of the garage. I forget the numbers now. It's on the drawing, so like 15 feet over or something like that. And we went through the whole process of, letters went out to neighbors. Nobody, voiced a concern. The one neighbor I think that would matter the most is the one on is 134.
Right,
East
just
Main
west
Street.
of you.
Yeah, again, nothing to say. We've talked about it too. So it was really the only option. The only other way to make it fit what we wanted to put there would have been to put it way forward on the property, which would look absurd.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at. And exactly the same thing, it's just been a matter, we've had some challenges in obtaining a building permit.
Right. Okay. From what I remember, I had taken a look at the site, and I think you're over by 4 feet in one area,
I think
which
so.
is why you needed a variance, and it's kind of a triangular cut.
Yep.
In less than half the length of the garage, you're at 0
Right.
need for a variance. So it's just for one portion. I think it was in the rear.
Yep.
Or where they would be.
Yeah, there's that shows it, right? Yeah, there you go, that's the slice, 4 feet 10 inches.
All right. Do any members on the board have any questions for Mr. Rendish regarding his variance that we granted him last year.
I see you have submitted a third plan revision.
Mhm.
And what aspect was the plan revision?
It's not, it's all just additional information that the building inspector required. The third, are we on our fourth or our third? Was that the third one? I
Says
just put
third,
in?
yeah.
Okay, the third one came back, right, and with even new building inspector,
Mm-hmm.
had 18 new comments on top of the 21 we originally were working to close out. The good news, however, is that the building inspector was very amenable to sitting down and talking through it all, and he's very much on board and trying to make this go through, make it happen.
Mhm.
We sat down, what's today? Tuesday, last Monday, it was, before the snow, that's what it was. And went through everything point by point, including the handful that were still open from before. And I feel really confident now that we're all on the same page and that we're gonna be able to get this done.
So the design changes, though, I had asked Vivian earlier, are only internal. The footprint and everything else
Footprint
is
is
exactly the same
Yeah.
as what we were looking at
Yeah.
last year when the original variance
Yeah,
was
and
granted.
that's really not changes, it's what we always intended to do, just continuing to add additional detail
Right.
at their request. That wasn't there originally.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Our purview, excuse me, is only on the exterior, not the changes inside.
Right,
But
because we had
we're-
granted a variance because it went over the 15-foot zone that
Right.
you're supposed to have as a
and
buffer
that-
between those.
And that's the same thing that we're talking about tonight.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Okay.
We're simply granting him an extension to a variance that was already granted to him almost a year ago, before it expires. Otherwise, he would have to reapply and go through the whole process again.
Okay.
I think it was at the last zoning board meeting where I think Mike was talking about the fact that these things expire, like, when did we do this? And sure enough. So I'm glad that I'm here and glad that I heard that little reminder. and,
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
follow it up.
Good, good. All right, so everybody's clear on what Mike Rendish is doing, and there's no other questions? All right, thank you. Oh, Dave?
I just, no, go ahead, I just was, whenever you're ready, I just had a couple of things I wanted to mention.
Sure.
So this is a type 2 action under seeker, as you probably know. Granting an area variance is a type 2, and since this is an extension, it's even more of a type 2, I would say. And there is also, although our local zoning code does not address extensions, the state law, case law is very clear that you do have the power to do that, so.
Okay.
But that's where, so you'd probably want to start, if you're going to entertain it, to include that you're declaring it a type 2 action, and then whatever you're going to do with the variance, or the extension.
So, explain this to me again, Dave, because this is a bit new to me now, being the chair.
On the seeker stuff?
Yes,
Okay.
would we have to run through the seeker tonight?
No, it's a type, I'm sorry, I should have, so type 2 means that seeker review is not required.
It is not required.
So you
Okay.
can just go ahead and roll and but you, in your motion, somebody should declare it a type 2 action, a resolution to have the board approve the declaration of a type 2 action, and then you could go ahead and propose the resolution to extend the variance
Okay.
for a year.
All right, so I'll state that then. Can I have a motion to declare this a type 2 action so that seeker is not required, and that we take a vote on whether or not to grant an extension to Mr. Rendish for his project?
I'll second.
We need a first.
I'll make a motion.
All right, we have a first motion. Who would like to second it?
A second.
Fred will second it. Okay, all in favor of granting an extension to Mr. Rendish on his project, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, I also say aye. So it has passed unanimously.
Thank you. And congratulations.
All right, so that motion has passed then. I don't believe we have anything else on tonight's agenda. All right, any other points of discussion anybody would like to bring up, Dave or anyone else? Okay, can we have a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting? All right, we have a first. Anybody would like to say? All right, all in favor of adjourning tonight's meeting?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone. Good luck to you, Mr. Rendish, with your project. I hope the delays